You're listening to the Mobcast Network.
Welcome to My Star Wars Life, a look at news, reviews, and other happenings from a galaxy far, far away. Here are your hosts, Scotty and JD.
Welcome to My Star Wars Life. Yay.
Hi.
That was like the biggest.
He paused.
Yeah.
Oh, I was hoping for reaction. Maybe I was trying to get the audience.
Maybe that was a Lucasfilm logo.
Yeah, maybe that was, right.
And then the pause was a long time ago.
Or the
the
old
THX.
Now the audience is deaf.
Yeah.
I'm your Native American
Sorry.
pop culture.
Off the rails in 10 seconds.
I win.
I am 32 seconds into the show, and I'm contemplating just starting over. I won't. I let it run for peanut butter whiskey time, so I guess I'll let it run for this.
Peanut butter whiskey time. Peanut butter whiskey time.
We have a habit of singing in our Star Wars shows, I've noticed. If you've not listened to Mando Mondays, we start off with a song every week.
I believe you say that like it's a bad thing.
No, I'm just commentary.
He's no size noodles.
No one is, right?
Yeah.
I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty, and I'm joined by my Jedi Master,
JD Vertrees. Hello.
and our co-host.
Oh, I thought I was going to get he puts the man in Mandalorian.
Sorry, I had forgotten. My bad. Once again, I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty, and I'm joined by my Jedi Master,
JD.
and he puts the man in Mandalorian.
Kohas.
And yet today, though, he puts the dope in Mandalorian.
That's totally right.
Oh. We have so much to talk about. So things that we're going to cover. We're definitely going to talk about the new episode of Mandalorian. So Mandalorian episode 8.
Chapter 8.
Chapter 8, The Redemption. It's
episode 8 is
Chapter
less.
8, The Redemption.
What?
The show's it's episode 8 of the show. The title of the show is Chapter 8, Redemption.
We're on like episode 4 of season 2, I thought. Have I missed 4 shows?
No, I'm just talking about the show of the Mandalorian, not our
I
show.
think
It's
he's
chapter. Episode 8's The Last Jedi.
Oh, what a terrible movie.
Tell us how you feel about it.
I've got a
Drew.
bad feeling about this.
I've just been a pedant for that since The Mandalorian has been out.
Right.
It's like, oh, did you see episode 2? It was like, yeah, I saw, Attack of the Clones forever ago.
It's one of my least favorites.
Yeah, and they're like,
How
no,
can you hate episode
no,
2?
did you see the child? I was like, oh, you mean chapter 2? Because
Yes.
I'm that guy.
No, you'd be like, oh, you've seen the child? No, Anakin grew up, right?
Yeah.
He's like 18 in there.
No,
Right? He's macking on Padme.
I definitely change your, fix your grammar on Facebook, so I'm going to do it in real life too.
Here
right?
we go. Grammar Palpatine right here, folks.
It's alt-right with a W. Thank you.
And that goes any chance we have sponsors. All sponsors have just
God.
left. All gone. I don't even think Tommy will sponsor us now. Gamers and Geeks. Oh, there's so. If you've not seen Chapter 8 of The Mandalorian, I would advise you to watch it and then come back and listen to it. We
Absolutely.
We'll pause. No, we won't.
For station
We'll
identification.
keep going, but you can pause and watch it, and we'll just pick up right there. It'll be good.
We're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere.
Definitely watch it.
Unless
So-
you
Run
wipe
to
your
it.
hard drive and then that you have bigger issues.
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
even know if that even works anymore.
We're gonna,
Just don't type.
just re-download
formats.
it. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Can I okay boomer myself?
Okay, Brandon. Oh, that just popped out of nowhere too. One day they're like, "Okay, boomer, what?" I'm not one of those.
But we're Gen X. Leave us alone.
I think we're millennials. Work harder.
I am
no,
Gen
we're
X.
no, we're not.
Yeah.
You're 77.
Yeah.
We're not Gen X.
Yeah.
We are.
Well, we are technically,
No.
but we're in this gray area called Zillennials.
You're a millennial.
I prefer the Oregon Trail microgeneration because that's what it's called before Zennial came out.
Look, I'm all about the Oregon Trail generation.
But it's technically that isn't
No,
a
'cause
real
we're-
generation.
I think 78's the end of Gen X. I'm on the very end.
79.
Is it 79?
Yeah.
I think
Damn it,
you're
because my wife acts like a millennial.
So do I sometimes, but because
I don't
avocados
even know
are
what
good.
that means. I
don't
love
know.
on toast. It's delicious. Does that make me one of them?
On guacamole, it's the best.
Ooh, I just got a recipe for. This is totally Star Wars talk.
Keep going.
I got a
It's
recipe.
a Celestin recipe.
It is completely because it's fried. It sounds bizarre, but it looks delicious. It's fried guacamole balls.
Holy
It
cow.
seems like a Star Wars food. So all
Right.
of a sudden it's brown and whatever. You bite into it and it's guacamole. It just seems like a weird idea.
So it's a baby shit ball.
Yeah,
right?
I'm
Like
gonna-
it looks
I'm gonna-
brown on the outside.
It's what Baby Yoda poops.
Right. You know what though? I questioned your taste in peanut butter whiskey. I'm down for whatever
Yeah,
you've
listen.
got now. you want to give me Kevin shitballs? We're eating Kevin shitballs.
Shitballs.
All right, real
Okay.
quick. Zillennial is a term used to describe people born between 1977 and 1983.
Is he on Wikipedia?
No.
Because that's run by the millennials.
Right. Like I can
Pentaveret.
go say, I could go change it real quick.
No. Not on Wikipedia.
I've read that article. I've read that little thing. It's not real though.
Well, technically, nothing's real.
Exactly.
I mean, if we're going to be nihilist about it, nothing's real. So the microgeneration is a mix between pessimistic Generation X and optimistic millennial, which is true, and was coined by Dan Woodman, Associate Professor of Sociology at the University of Melbourne.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so an Aussie made it up.
Yeah, I'm okay with Aussies.
Doesn't
That was
Like-
that was a penal colony, wasn't it?
So was Georgia.
Still is.
Oh!
That was a
And-
football jab.
And we lost all our listeners in Georgia.
The country, though.
Those two will be missed. No, they will. I mean, we need
We need
Listeners.
Georgia listeners.
heard. We just got. Never mind.
Shout out to Iowa. I'll do
Yeah.
it.
Well, I was going to say
I'll
we got
pedal to
all
you,
of Iowa.
Iowa, we love you.
All of you. All 13.
We'll take you. We'll definitely take you. All right, so some Star Wars talk. So JJ Abrams told everyone what Finn was going to tell Rey, and I call bullshit.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I missed it.
I call bullshit.
Oh, yeah. It's actually
I
kind
call
of
bullshit.
interesting.
I call bullshit. And okay, and I know I'm not allowed to call bullshit on this, but I'm calling bullshit on this. I know I didn't write it. I don't know what's in his head, but it just seems like a bullshit answer to me.
All right, we're
Well,
upping our
so-
rating for today.
So just have literally, I saw it at 2:30 today. I'm seeing coming in, having read that article, watched the movie. It's bullshit.
So what do you think? What do you think Finn was trying to tell Rey?
Everybody thinks it was going to be "I love you,"
Right?
but I don't think that was it
Why?
because of the weird stilted love thing he had with Rose in The Last Jedi. Like Poe,
That movie doesn't count.
Or Finn.
It's been retconned out of existence.
Finn has been so brainwashed for however old Finn is. Like I don't
Gotcha,
know that
gotcha.
he's going to have regular emotions.
Right. I love how he maxed on Rey in the beginning. In Force Awakens.
But I think they're just super good friends now.
Oh, that's fine. It's fine. She friends on him. That's cool. I mean, she's allowed to do that. However, so I was totally. I mean, he can be into her. I thought that's what, because they're about to die. That's what you tell somebody when you're about to die.
Right.
I love you. Right. That's a near death. Han and Leia are not going to see each other. Han could possibly die. Leia says what to Han? I love you. Han is badass and says I know, and
know.
then freezes and carbonates. Fucking badass. Right. That's a moment. They're being swallowed up by sand. They may not. They don't know what's going to happen on the other side. He's going to tell her something, and you know what he's going to tell her? I'm force sensitive too. Bullshit. Bullshit.
I guess it kind of makes sense because it's all implied in the
Why is it
entire.
a secret?
I don't think it's supposed to be a secret. I
No,
think
it's a secret because he wouldn't tell Poe that he's force sensitive, and that's his bro. Dude, guys, I love y'all. If I'm force sensitive, I'm telling all y'all. I'm like,
Right,
man,
okay.
I can lift a rock.
Yeah, you would be the only person I know that has a podcast about, hey, welcome to Force Sensitive Using with Scotty.
Yeah.
You can't see it right now, but I'm levitating the shit out of some rocks.
because I 100% think Poe would make Finn use it inappropriately. Jiggle,
fair enough.
Jiggle things. Jiggle things.
Fair enough.
Jiggle it
I'm
again.
not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna. All right. One time, Poe. One time.
Yeah.
I would watch that show.
I want the Finn Poe buddy
so-
cop comedy.
Suddenly, but they would end up being like the two guys from Letterkenny. So there was a.
So your friend comes and says he's force sensitive today.
Oh my god! That's it. I would watch it. I'd watch the hell out of it and be done.
You guys ever not to be impolite, but
No,
do you ever force jiggle your friend's balls?
No, it's not polite to carbonate and tell. It's not. Don't carbonate and tell. No. So yeah, I'm dating found a girl on the Tinder, and yeah, she's a hut.
She's a hut.
Yeah, she's got tails. Puts that tails right up my bum. The erogenous zone.
And, yeah.
Anyway, back to bullshit. Call bullshit on. I call it like Penn and Teller bullshit. That's how bad the bullshit I is. It's like I don't know. I made this rant on the last episode about death. Mm-hmm. Star Wars is uncomfortable with love anyway. Also, I mean they stretch it out between Han and Leia and then they ruin it. No one.
Well, it's a weird watching the kiss again, knowing it's like paying attention to their performances. There's a weird situation between Ben and her that. Why are they're almost like brother and sister. It's back to that. To me, it still feels slightly incestuous because they've never established a motif of it.
Right.
Because I refuse to acknowledge that The Last Jedi even exists. So it's like these two people suddenly just make out, and I have no idea why.
I'm like, he's got this blank gap in his memory. Like, what movie? No. Nope.
Okay.
Luke,
I don't like the idea, though. of
Luke
him saying
threw that lightsaber, and then next she's floating in Yavin 2, the electric boogaloo.
So my goal now is my new edit is at the end of Force Awakens. It's going to be butchered, but at the end of Force Awakens, when she hands over the lightsaber, it just cuts to Luke catching it, and now he's just a Force ghost.
Oh man, I was too late.
That was a good throw.
It's just like, why'd she blow up her own ship? Didn't she just land here? It's not going to make any sense. But it'll make a good movie.
I blew up the
No, because
when you blow up your ship
you
the
can
other
use the
day.
fire from the tree as the
that's
fire that he's coming out of.
That's true.
There you go.
I might be able to pull this off.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yoda's over there cackling.
Super edit coming.
Yoda's over there blue and cackling. Sits down next to Luke. Luke all of a sudden starts turning blue too,
Oh,
so
that's
that he
perfect.
can then give away the
I can
saber.
do that. I can rotoscript that in.
My next band is gonna be Blue and Crackling.
Blue and crack.
We're gonna be like a punk folk duet. It's gonna
that's
be great.
perfect.
It's gonna be great. I'm Blue. He's Crackling.
Little Judah in the Lion style.
Right? Little acoustic guitar and banjo, but all punk.
You gotta have a mandolin. Mandalorian. Huh? He puts the Mandalorian.
I've been slain.
Puts the mandolin in Mandalorian. There
Just
it
hit me
is.
with an E-web of dad joke.
Oh, look at it. Going topical. Look at him pulling us back on the topic.
The JD of all people trying to get us back on topic. What has this show come to,
So
Scotty?
I don't believe JJ Abrams. I just don't. And he's been on this apology tour. He's talking about he was doing interviews overseas, and they were asking how has he managed to try to please everyone, which is a dumb question. Overseas people, that's a dumb question. Overseas people. But he's like, the people who hate it are right, and the people who love it are right too. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And he's just,
Well, that's sort of what I said last episode. I'm not going to get into these discussions of don't try to convince me, I don't try to convince you. We're both valid in what we saw in Rise of Skywalker. And I feel like that's what he's trying to say. He's like, if you don't like it, I get it. If you like it, I get it.
I do. I think it's poorly directed. Sorry, JJ, I love you, dude, but it's poorly directed.
JJ, I don't love you. I don't think
See, I like some of his stuff. I love Mission Impossible 3.
No, that one's Super Tom Cruise. Like there was Mission Impossible, there was Mission Impossible 2, and then there was Super Tom Cruise. Like
love
he
Super
went
Tom
from
Cruise.
being a spy to a
all right.
superhero.
In my defense, I've not seen the Mission Impossible films outside of the.
He
second
threw
one.
a
my
motorcycle
God.
at somebody.
Mission Impossible 1's a film classic, by the way.
I've seen.
That's Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah.
That's 2.
With two?
2
Where
is
he-
John Woo, where he's out of control.
Where he guile
When they go
flash
after
kicked
Chimera.
a motorcycle at somebody.
That's Mission Impossible 2.
When it starts with Tom Cruise climbing a mountain because I can.
Yeah, well, he's Captain Kirk.
So
Which
but
one
he was
that?
alone, which means he should have died.
Fair enough.
yeah, that was the fifth one where he climbs El Capitan.
Is that what it is? Number 5?
Yeah.
Is that Undiscovered Country?
No, that's the Final Frontier. That's the bad one where he goes find
We're on
God.
Mission Impossible 5 now?
Wait, in Star Trek 5 he fights God?
Yeah.
I retconned it. It's right out of existence.
It's your Last Jedi?
It's what?
A lot of people's like. Actually, for me, it's
Is there
like,
a missing Star Wars film?
for me,
1,
it's,
2, 3, 4, 5,
For me, it's-
6,
for me, it's-
7, 9.
What I'm to 8? 8 it.
So E-Webs.
yeah, good. It's good for you. It's good for you. I guess. E-webs. How about E-Webs the other day?
So we had a show about E-Webs the other day.
And Ryan Johnson's also going on he's been tweeting about like people not liking the missing movie. And Ryan Johnson did a missing movie about, that wasn't Knives Out. And
the unreleased Ryan Johnson Star Wars film.
Apparently people didn't like it. I don't know who. I don't know anyone in this room didn't like it. What is that? The guy who refuses to acknowledge his existence. It's like Voldemort. It's in the movie. It shall not be named.
That's it.
But and he's been on he's and we talked about this last episode. He's been really defensive about it. It's like directors don't do that. Why are you doing this? Just so what? People didn't like it. George Lucas freaked out enough to already sold the property. But hey, come on.
But that was before those.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why he sold the property. He got tired of just the fans about it.
I still stand behind that point.
They
caused it.
I did. I 100% agree. And George isn't happy with this new sequel trilogy either. And so, of course, that being said, Papa George also wanted to do Star Wars movies about inside of your body. That's his next thing was, we're going to be, the microverse inside your body. And so exploring that.
We got that though. And Disney trumped it and made it perfect with the one that came
Inside Out.
Thank you.
No, I was thinking Osmosis Jones.
No, I'm thinking more,
crap! I forgot about that movie. I haven't seen that forever.
I think it's more Osmosis Jones than that. I mean,
we got Inner Space for that, though.
Right.
Oh,
but he wanted, but Jedi. He wanted like midichlorians to be like real thing, like people.
What?
Dude, all I could see is a bunch
You
of.
didn't read that?
No.
I also found it for the show notes. But yeah, his original pitch for the sequel trilogy was like, instead of Star Wars was exterior, let's go interior. He wanted to be smaller, and so he wanted to be inside people.
Why do we need a
What kind of
justification for the
Sundance
Force?
crap was that?
I don't need justification for the Force.
The same guy made Strange Magic. Come on.
That's fair enough.
Never heard of her.
Did you not see Strange Magic?
No.
You got Disney Plus, of course, right?
Yeah.
It's on Disney Plus. It's the only other Lucasfilm Disney released since the takeover, since they bought out, and so it's this animated fairy movie with rock music that George produced and made, and
It's bizarre.
Oh, it's weird. It's
not Cats bizarre.
No,
my phone's dead.
no, it's like it's not. I mean, it's not great, but it's not. I mean, it's watchable, but it's like it's very George Lucas. Like Lucas has a specific vision about stuff, and when he gets stuck on it, and this movie's the same way. It's like Willow in a way. It's like Willow doesn't. It kind of works.
I love Willow.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. But it kind of works because of Ron Howard. But it's like Lucas' original treatment.
But that goes back. Ron Howard can deal with George Lucas's
craziness.
world.
Right.
Like he gets it.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Solo was great.
It's fantastic.
Solo was wonderful.
I love Solo. I know a lot of people didn't like it.
I don't understand why people didn't like it. It's my favorite of the new ones.
I'm a big fan.
I want more, but we won't get it. There's so much more to explore, and I don't think we'll get it.
No, but you know what? There's offshoot stuff that I'm okay with now. If Mando keeps going the way it's going, I'm okay with that. If Kenobi, again, I'm putting my trust in Deborah. Chow for president. I love her. If she comes through, then I'm all for that too.
My faith is in Ewan for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope we have a good script. I hope we have a good director. But that's what you look at because that's what you do.
I get it.
I look at Ewan was the only thing that to me saved any kind of acting in the prequels.
Yeah.
Like because they made Natalie Portman bad. Like,
Yeah,
like
I mean, she's rough in spots for sure.
like
That's because George didn't direct.
huh?
George can't direct.
Well, he didn't direct. I mean, he was there. He was in the sheet. But there's lots of times where you can behind the scenes stuff. He's got a paper in his hand. He's like reading papers and,
I don't know how much of it was his AD. He could have tried to pull a Hitchcock. Hitchcock was notorious for directing off of or handing over storyboards that were so detailed that an AD, assistant director, like a foreman, could run the set. If George tried that, it's going to fail miserably because it just doesn't work in the system.
And so
I don't know, but anyway, I love Ewan. And
I just don't know what made George think that he could tackle the whole thing himself. I know people like the prequels have now gotten this renaissance and a new light. And like I look at the prequels in a different light than I did when I say them. I'm really at the age at where now I can appreciate the Phantom Menace because I pay taxes now. So it's like So it's like, all right, I get I get it, and I enjoy it. Even Jar Jar Binks, I don't hate.
right.
Attack of the Clones is still rough. But the more I watch it, the more I like I love the arena scene and beyond. I love how just Obi-Wan's just over everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Ewan's performances in that.
Yeah.
It is great.
Oh, Ewan carries those. In this
Good
video.
job.
Yeah.
He's funny in it too. He's
Yeah,
witty.
I love.
Yeah, he's got all the best lines in it.
He does. You were right about one thing. The negotiations were short. I mean, just like I love everything about him, and I love his transformation into Old Ben over the 3 movies, and he's almost there.
Yep.
And then who takes over for him in Rebels
And
and Clone Wars? But
So Stephen Stanton takes over for him in Rebels,
okay.
and it's James Arnold Taylor who's in Clone Wars.
So talking twin sons, I can't remember if we talked about this.
That's Stephen Stanton.
I can't remember if we talked about this 2 or 3 episodes ago when we were talking about it. But like the beginning of Twin Sons, you get the holocron breakup of young Obi-Wan.
Right, well, that's James Arnold Taylor.
And then when we have him at the end, and it's the cadence of his voice is turned into more of Old Ben and Sir Alec Guinness. So it's really a really well done episode. I mean, you're right. It was one of the best episodes of
That's just great.
Rebels.
But that's not just great Rebels. I think that's great filmmaking.
Yeah, but it's
so good.
So good.
Yeah.
And somebody the other day was like, man, somebody, I don't even know this person on Facebook. Like, it was a friend of a friend that had commented on a post, and it was just like, I finally watched Twin Sons. That was crap. What was that? There was like 2 seconds of lightsaber duels. I was like, I don't know you, so I'm gonna shut my mouth.
That's somebody that doesn't understand.
Right, but it's not
But
not
since they don't
about the
listen
duel.
to the podcast, what would you want to tell them?
Just that it's not about the duel.
No.
But it is about the duel. Because Obi-Wan has been hermetizing himself. He's been hermetically sealed. I don't know.
Hermitage.
Hermitage.
He's been
I was out on Hermitage the other day.
Jeez Louise.
he's just been he's been by himself for 16 years, 15 years at that point. Meanwhile, Maul has been out, and he's like taking over Dathomir and taking over Mandalore, and now he's hunting holocrons, and now he's got a apprentice that he doesn't think he's his. Ezra's like, I'm not your apprentice, right?
He's like, totally my apprentice.
But he keeps attacking and fighting, and he has that fight with Kanan, and he has the fight with the Inquisitors or the seventh sister and the fifth brother, and those
brother.
fights last half of an episode.
Yeah.
And they're all good, and he comes out the victor, and then 3 swings, and Obi-Wan, who hasn't done shit for 15 years, whips his ass.
But he did the exact same move. He was using the same. Maul tried to do the same move that he killed Qui-Gon with. Obi-Wan never forgot it. That's what I thought was beautiful about the duality.
Yeah.
Whereas the same ghost that haunts Darth Maul is the same ghost that haunts Obi-Wan in 2 different ways.
Yeah.
What I love about that fight, and I will argue it's one of the best lightsaber fights in the entire run.
It's the most samurai for sure.
Right. And it always makes we do, and I think we need to do another top 10 list eventually. But there's a point where he's Obi-Wan, and he does the peace sign, his 2-fingered out, and when he starts it, and then he really, watches Maul what he does, and what he does, he goes in and goes back into he just changes his stance, and just I think I don't know which form it was, but he just kind of just closes it in. That whole
Ceresu.
Yeah, that
He's
whole
a Ceresu master.
The whole fight that you wanted to see happened in those moments. That's already happened, and so we're now at the end. They've already done it in their minds. They've already seen chess move this whole thing out. So all we got to do is the final blows, and that's what they're ready for. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah. And what you're talking about, it's weird because I think he stayed Obi-Wan. Like, he doesn't shift into Ben until he cuts down Maul, and then he turns back into Ben to take care of Maul in his arms.
No, I'm just
because he does the finger thing, and then he goes through this stance, and then he gets in basically, for a lack of a better term, a Babe Ruth stance. Right. He's ready to swing away. And, his hands are gripping the saber because Maul's jawing and talking about, oh, you're here to protect someone. And then Obi-Wan, it's not quite anger, but it's close, right? You look at his eyes, and it's determination and focus. And he's like, well, I wasn't gonna, but now I am gonna kill you, right? Like, I mean, it's like, because that's what we're doing.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, the only man to just piss off 2 Sith Lords.
Yeah.
And survive.
Yeah. No.
Well,
Vader.
Well, he let him.
Sure.
He pissed off Dooku, though.
3 Sith Lords.
And a
Sith
crazy
Lords are-
arachnodroid.
Sith Lords are a speciality.
Grievous.
You do it so much better than I do, but
What?
Sith Lords are a speciality. From episode 3, Obi-Wan.
Oh, Sith Lords are a speciality.
There you go. I don't do impressions. I barely do me.
Well, so I had to learn Ewan because when I started dating my wife, I found out she loved him in Train Spotting. So I learned his little monologue where he's talking about spirit crushing, mind numbing game shows, and he's talking about all the things, and they're all high and stuff. And so I learned it, and she went, "Oh," and I was like, "Sweet." And so then when he's in there, and his Obi-Wan's easier because it's not as Scottish,
right? It's a light version.
It's like. You know.
That's how his first child was conceived.
I mean,
and skadoosh.
Hello there. That's all I got to say. Hello, Dex.
Oh, Dex.
Obi-Wan.
I threw a story out
us.
there that I thought was kind of interesting. I don't know how long it's been on Facebook. Have you seen the story about this kid named Riley Howell?
Yes. Oh, God. That's just wrenching.
How beautiful is it?
Heart-wrenching.
So this kid, if you guys haven't seen it, it's been circulating on Facebook. But this kid basically stopped one of the gunmen at the
UNC, right?
UNC shooting in Charlotte. He stops one of the gunmen. Turns out he's a massive Star Wars fan. What makes it believable is there's pictures of him as a kid holding a lightsaber that's way too big for him.
And he's a genuine Star Wars fan because that's prequel stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
he grew up in it.
he grew up with that
right.
If you're a kid through the prequels, you get 100% pass of loving the prequels. I mean,
yeah,
that's because they were made for you.
That's it. And he's got all the toys, pictures of him with the toys, and then one day Lucasfilm Story Group sends a letter to his family saying that he has now been inducted to be basically as part of canon.
Mm-hmm.
He is now a Jedi Master and historian named R-I-Lee Howell, which his name was Riley, R-I-L-E-Y. I just thought it was one of the coolest. That's the effect that Star Wars actually has on human beings. And I think that's something that we lose sight of when we're pissing off about the episode that doesn't matter. And anything else that I might say when I'm being negative, that did have an impact. Those films have an impact on someone's life, and it matters to them.
And it's just like the pink R2 unit.
That's right.
Yeah, KD.
Oh,
4,
gosh.
KD4.
My phone's dead right there.
KT, some, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. That's right. She's canon because she was in
Force Awakens.
And she's also in Clone Wars, but so she was canon, but it was good to see her live action.
Yeah.
So Riley
Howell.
Do you know what he did in canon?
No, I don't. That part I did not know.
I couldn't tell you the word and its second volume. It's like the Orthocalium and
So one of the books that Ray has, he wrote.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
He collected it, which is fabulous. So that's a great honor,
Oh my God, that's huge.
Yeah. But also in the new, because this is all in the new visual guide that Pablo Hidalgo wrote, and so
of course now you're getting
and so again, I mean,
don't mess with Pablo.
Yeah, Pablo and Matt Martin. I mean, you want to start digging into crazy lore. I mean, they know it. But the cool thing about that they mentioned about those books is the fact that the books were discarded because all the information was collected and put in holocrons, which are now lost.
Right.
So this is literally going back old school and collecting that lore again. So I think it's a really cool honor. Yeah.
I thought it's one of those little stories that was like, as much as I talk trash, it's at the same time it's because my love is strong for it. But so happy to see that story come through.
Mm-hmm.
So that said,
let's pass the tissues and
hello there.
Let's talk about dead Queel.
Queel?
Kool-Aid.
Queel.
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 Is there a silent Q?
It's actually Kuiil.
Yeah, I've been saying correct
because I just watched it with captioning on.
Yeah,
so it's Kuill.
I've been calling
or IIL.
Krill.
It's
I'm calling Krill for the longest time because they didn't say it, and I was like, I'm going by the spelling.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my Mando has a first name.
He does.
So it's Oscar. No.
Sorry, jumping into it.
I'm hungry. What?
Din. What?
Yes.
There's a din in here. Can't hear over it.
Din.
Yeah. Din.
I'm not a big fan.
Of his name?
Nah.
The worst kept secret we've known for like months.
But Din Djarin but it was like spelled different.
Right.
Yeah.
Din Djarin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it on like a.
But now it's like
Darjeeling
Djarin.
So
Bjork.
So I guess we're talking Mandalorian.
You started.
I mean, it's
it.
pretty big deal what we have going. I mean, there's some epic crap in it. Now, we didn't talk about the last episode though, right? So
No,
we're 6 and 7, kind of. 7 and 8.
7 and 8 are kind of together, and we can talk about it. Yeah.
My Star Wars life is a lot of freeform.
Yeah.
You guys haven't figured out we just love Star Wars.
We're just going to talk about Star Wars.
No, that was awesome.
Well, there you go. There's a review of
And
That was episode 7.
That's
Episode 8. That was awesome. All right.
My contributions to the multiverse. God, make yours. Wait, it's too early.
No, look, those 2 episodes combined tell a fantastic story. It flows very well. It's great. We get stakes characters. We assemble our team. We bring back the epic and beautiful and awesome Gina Carino and it's Kara. And
She just gets hotter every 30 seconds.
I
I
love
watch
her, man.
her.
I love her.
Just
She's
every
fantastic.
even with her Karen haircut, I'm about some Kara.
She got some space Karen going on, right?
She does.
She's like, I'm here to bounty hunt your king and return this sweater because then I need to see your manager.
Oh, I'll work, but you're gonna have to fix my chain code.
yeah, that's exactly.
This is not what I ordered.
The flow on the episodes is fantastic. First one by Deborah Chow. We talked about that a little bit last episode. And then this one is Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Now, can we talk just
IG-11.
about the opening, though, of the 2 stormtroopers
I love him.
sitting there? They pick up the baby, right? They pick up the child, and then they sit with the child in a sack and routinely abuse it,
Yeah.
which is both Stooges funny and not at the same time.
Right.
So I know a lot of fans gasp, and then I'm like, that dude just punched Baby Yoda.
He punched Kevin in the head.
Punched Kevin in the face, and like,
It was delightfully
and I'm
funny.
like, y'all can't live now. I thought y'all
Y'all
were
are
like,
gonna die.
right. I was like, oh, that's cute. We'll see them, and they'll. I love the jokes of those. Like, it's like, do we show up now? He's like, nah, the Moff is still kind of upset. He's he's like, they killed a legion of his troops. Like, dude, he just killed a legion of his gun. Oh, whatever, I guess.
I'm like, what about now? No, he just killed somebody for interrupting him. All right, we're good. You know, like.
And the worst part is he's waiting. What I think is so funny is those guys stop. So they're so scared. They don't want to go in, and he's literally waiting for what they have.
Yeah.
Because if they would have just rolled up in there,
Credits.
episode's done. Kevin's gone.
Kevin,
Kevin got caught by the wet bandits.
Did you say the Wet Bandits?
Yeah, it was a
Home Alone.
I know.
reference.
I watched it on Christmas. That's season 2. We leave Kevin home alone
In the Razor
as the
Crest.
stormtroopers try to get on
If
the
that
Razor
happens,
Crest.
I will be the happiest man
And
on the
he's
planet if we
just-
get an episode of The Mandalorian.
He's pelting him with converters on strings.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Hydro spanners in their feet.
Somebody's face has to go into the refresher.
The vac tube.
Oh, the vacuum. Okay.
Yeah, they got
The refresher's a sink or a toilet?
the toilet, but
So now I want to know
I think
what.
refreshers are actually bathrooms.
Yeah, the refresher is the room itself.
The room
It's the
itself.
water closet.
Yeah,
Right, but you defecate
In
or
a vac-
urinate into a vac tube.
right.
Or what did you expunge your thorax? What did the blue guy do in chapter 1?
Yeah,
About
you-
messed up.
Yeah. I mean, don't and of course don't jump your gray hole on the planet. You use your own stink.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's like ew.
But see, what I loved about those 2 stormtroopers, they're sitting there, they start making inside jokes because they can't hit anything.
I started laughing my ass off when they just couldn't shoot.
Why
things.
did the gun clack? He's like, he shakes the gun. It's a blaster gun. There should be a moving part, the trigger, right? It's all energy based, and it's like clink, 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 like
it
a
makes
kid on
sense.
Christmas that
It
broke
makes
their
sense to me
toy.
because the Empire's falling apart. The first stormtroopers we see in this are filthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're filthy. So nothing. It's clearly they're not gotten things.
Uh-huh.
The Moff's got stuff because he's got money. He's a Moff, and plus they literally got in the 501st to come help. But
Right, of course.
So I just like how he had Death Troopers. I just love seeing Death Troopers. I
that
love
was a
seeing-
nice shot.
And I love seeing Death Troopers fight.
And what was interesting is it still keeps the narrative alive. Death Troopers are better fighters. In this
Right.
episode, you see that they're better warriors than.
And something I
the
noticed just in that episode, and I was watching it with Greg, and Greg's like, what makes you say that? So the Death Trooper that goes up and plants the device on the door to explode it, it was a woman. I don't know if you like watch the way she walks.
wow, that's
and
awesome.
she's a little bit thinner, and she walks. And that made me think of Rise of Skywalker. Half the stormtroopers you hear talking are female.
One of them is Vanessa Marshall.
Oh, that's delightful.
Is that Hera?
Yeah, it's Hera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Fan.
Yeah, I know. But so I think it's funny that, well, not funny. I think it's neat that like even the Death Troopers and going into the First Order, like more and more women are part of the evil organization.
So,
it's just like
also
that checks out.
You said it, sir. I was about to follow up.
How far are you in, how far are you in Rebels?
I haven't watched any more since the last time we talked, so
right,
I have to watch the last season.
So in the last season, spoiler, they're female Death Troopers. There's an episode with Saw Gerrera and Kyber crystals, and the Death Troopers guarding the Kyber crystals. They're led by a woman.
Okay,
it's voiced by, I want to say, Jennifer Hale, who did the Blue Twi'lek Jedi.
Ayla Secura.
Thank you. Voiced her from the Clone Wars.
I love her. Like you love Hera,
right?
Like Ross loves Sabine. Like I'm all about some Ayla.
Rock on. See,
and that's why, like we were talking about this.
Got you.
And that's why we were talking about
something about that, like who?
Like last week, I think. Did we talk about the teeth? My theory.
Yeah,
my teeth theory.
we
talk about like Ayla's got good teeth, right? Hera's got good teeth.
Yeah.
Ula's got good teeth. They're all good Twi'lek.
Yeah.
Right. You know, Bib Fortuna, Osha Tonks, her brother, bad teeth, bad Twi'lek.
Yeah. That's all facts.
Hera's dad, moderate teeth.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, but he's a dick, right? Like he's.
And I think Luma's got. I don't know. I gotta go back and look at Luma's teeth.
Who?
The other Blue Twi'lek who hangs out with Cham.
Hangs out with who?
Cham Sedula. Cham, her dad, Hera's dad.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, her teeth are fine.
Okay.
They might be a little pointy because she's kind of shady because she's with him, but.
I just said I have to go back
We
and
just
look at
had
her
a
teeth.
conversation about pointy teeth. Only on my Star Wars Life do you
Right.
get that kind of.
But I don't know if it's ever been a
Other
conscious
Star Wars
decision.
shows are not going to give you the
Like, I don't know if it's
in-depth-
ever been a conscious decision by the story group, right?
Oh,
But
I think
it's-
it is.
But it's like the more human they look,
I think the more good they are.
It's speciesist, right? The more.
no, I think pointy
the
teeth
more
equal
human,
bad guys.
The more human they look, the more we can relate to them. The more they're the good guy, quote unquote. Whereas the more alien they look, it's easier for us to go kill them.
Yeah.
So.
There is that.
Because we don't grieve in Star Wars, so just kill them.
They just die. So in this same episode, we do end up with IG-11 coming back, being the protector, programmed to be the nurse, which is delightful.
It was wonderful.
Which leads to him stealing a scout bike, crushing those dudes right
Yeah, he
afterwards. Just beats the crap out of them. It's delightfully amazing. And my favorite Kevin scene of all time happens in this episode. He is so happy in that while they're doing the speeder bike. Yes. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's just phenomenal.
I sent a message to my wife. I was like, your ovaries are fixing to explode when you watch this episode.
Oh, it's so good.
Just I mean, imagine us as kids when we first saw speeder bikes and how cool that would have been, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're all that. I mean, that's that moment.
Yeah.
That's us. That's us. That's
Yeah,
the fans.
but Taika Waititi has the ability to give you that in anything he creates.
Right.
He puts a childlike wonder into it that is like, look at Thor Ragnarok.
I do want to see the Jojo Rabbit.
Oh my God, man. I can't wait.
Have you not seen it?
I have not seen it yet.
Okay. I want to see it.
Here it's good.
Because I like him. I like his voice work. Like,
Oh, he's brilliant.
like as Krieg and
so
the South African
so
rock monster.
I think it's a really good decision to have him be the final episode because there's a lot of big story beats, right? But it's a lot of character.
Yeah.
And he's very, very good at character. He can keep them funny, but he can create a very sincere moment that we don't get from other directors in this. Like Chow's the master of action,
Right.
And then Filoni's good at just general.
Yeah.
And Bryce Dallas Howard is good at underdeveloped character moments.
What did she direct?
Episode 4.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not her fault. It's just not a good episode. And we just discussed
makes
that.
sense. Okay.
Scotty has good reasons for liking it.
I that's because there's a Lolfcat in it. Like he's like Lolfcat, I'm good.
It's one of the many reasons. I didn't name it. I should've
Rebels
named it.
is canon. Rebels is canon. Rebels is canon.
Okay, I got to do that this episode too. So come on.
But then we get into you get these character moments that build on it, and
Yeah.
so just IG-11 going in there and doing this insane battle sequence, turning his back just so he puts the note in to say, "Don't worry, he's protecting the kid."
Right.
Like they show you that.
Yeah.
It's conscious effort that makes for a better story.
And it doesn't mess with the equilibrium
right.
of the show.
That's a total dad joke movie reference. I get it. He's doing gun kata, my friend.
I know he's doing gum kata. Audio podcast, buddy.
Yeah.
That was a joke for you. That's what we call the inside joke.
Yeah, but it needed to be seen.
Right.
One day when we do live, people would have seen
We'll get
that.
cameras eventually.
Yeah.
No, but no. Like I'll put on my Jedi hood. You just see Luke beard coming out of the.
It's all right. It's not so bad. Is there anything like so for me? I'm going through it because that episode blew me away.
I'm just letting you lead. I'm following.
So what I love, speaking of smashing faces, the armorer.
Oh, bro, that is out of control.
And who do we know who the voice is? Because she sounds super familiar.
Yeah,
but she is amazing.
She was in Supernatural. Did you watch Supernatural?
Nah.
That was a good show. All 76.
Yeah, that's why I can't watch it. I'm like, if it's Buffy and it's only 6 seasons.
To me, it ended like season 10.
Yeah.
I think they're on 20.
My daughter loves it. My wife loves it. I'm like, that's so much.
It's the
Her
same.
name is Emily Swallow.
Oh, yeah.
And she's in the Castlevania cartoon. She's in Supernatural. She's been in lots of stuff.
Is that her in the suit or is that just her voice?
We talked about this, but Pedro's not in the suit.
You, sir,
and it's
shush.
And it's been further confirmed. I got a buddy inside, a Boston spy.
He had a Boston spy who died apparently.
Yeah.
Many Boston spies. This is why we can't have space chickens.
And it was on the other episode. So if you want to figure out how many times Pedro was actually in it from the true source, then you have to go listen to Mando. I'll tell you off the air, but you have to go listen to Mando Mondays.
Spoilers.
You have to go listen to Mando Mondays, the most recent episode. If you listen to that, you'll get that information.
Okay. Wow. All right.
So we're talking about crossover.
Yeah, baby. Like the DC show, whatever that is. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I've watched that.
The what?
The Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Scotty understands
DC.
me. You haven't spent enough time with me that
You
I
said
only
DC.
know.
All I thought of was Washington for some reason. I'm like, I've been watching Designated Survivor, but what?
That's a fantastic show, by the way.
With Kiefer.
Yeah, but it'd make an amazing Star Wars show. Maybe that's what what's the new guy's
Oh,
Moff?
maybe he is the Senate now. Boom.
Moff. What's the new guys? What's the new bad guys?
Gideon.
Moff Gideon. Thank you. All right, so we
Who I
smashed some
keep-
faces.
Yeah, just that whole scene where she's sitting there with her pliers and her hammer, and just like.
So
just sitting
clearly
there.
she's going to make it. She's also melting down all the armor. So my question
She's
is,
also melting down the stormtroopers.
did they abandon the armor? Or were they all murdered?
I don't think they all made it.
I don't think they all made it. I think that's the armor of the dead ones.
Wow. I mean that's what it
Because what
implied.
you-
I just wanted to get your opinion on it.
I think
Because that's kind of brutal.
Right, because I think she's going to melt down the Beskar for
Right. Just
Foundlings.
repurpose.
Yeah, for repurpose it. Because
I like that. I liked her whip. I mean, she like tore dudes' faces off.
right, she had a hammer. Like you break a stormtrooper in the face, and I'm just like, this is the greatest thing ever. Because I thought she was going to do like the honorable death thing, and then she comes out like, no, I'm dwarf fighting this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. She straight up practiced some Tarek Asai. Huh?
Don't tell the Twi'lek.
Whooped up.
That was sick. So we also find a major plot point in this that I think is pretty relevant. Actually, it's more than relevant. It's huge. Mandalorian is a belief system.
It's a creed.
It's a creed and belief system and not
But
a religion.
Here's the problem, right? So here's the thing I thought about, which I thought it was funny when Cara Dune said, or when he says it's a creed. I wanted somebody to look at Apollo right there and go, "Ayo."
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't bring but two together. That's funny.
Anyway, it made me think of you
Oh.
and what we're gonna do about Sabine. Because I know we talked about it being religion, because he says weapons are my religion. I'm Mandalorian. Weapons are my religion. But the way is a creed, right? Like they're following a creed, and part of that creed is not taking their helmet off.
I'm telling you, I believe it matters after Jedi. I think that the 5-year gap, there's something in
Think
that
something
story.
happens in
That's
there.
me personally.
Well, something has to happen, because I know we hadn't talked about this on this episode yet, but there's something has to have happened for Bo-Katan to relinquish what Bo-Katan has.
The Darksaber.
The Darksaber, which was great.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as we know, so Moff Gideon is ISB agent in charge or stationed over Mandalore.
Yeah.
Obviously, if he had gotten it honorably, according to canon, according to Rebels, he would have fought the previous wielder of it in close combat 1-on-1 and won it from them.
Correct.
That doing so, he would then be in charge of Mandalorians. He didn't, because he could have just been like, "Hey, Mando, come out, because this is mine and I'm in charge."
Right.
So he obviously got it underhanded means, which makes sense because ISB.
Yep.
They're spies. I want to know what happened.
Yeah, but that's season 2, baby.
Is it? Because I think season 2 is Ming-Na's season, baby.
Oh.
Because we have that. We have to have something with the prisoners. that he left on the rebel prison ship.
Bill Burr went back to Space Massachusetts.
Because otherwise, like, if nothing happens with them in season
I'm
2,
gonna make a Space Massachusetts T-shirt.
I'm all into that.
if nothing happens with them in season 2, then that episode was 0 point at all.
Well, we have who's the boots at the end of episode 5?
I still think it was Jin. What's his name? Din. The Mandalorian. It was him. I'm convinced it was him.
All right, so rewatching it recently, and because he doesn't have jingles on his boots, there's no spurs on his boots. This guy has spurs on the boots.
Yeah,
But you hear spurs every time Mandalorian walks. Does this one have visible spurs, or just the noise that you got every time he walked in episode 1?
So do you know? I'm gonna throw this out here. You know who I think it is? I think it's Cad Bane.
Oh,
What?
please, for the love of God, let that be the case.
I think it's Cad Bane. Filoni created him. Filoni loves him. Filoni was going to have him.
Cad Bane got screwed out of a big arc.
Yeah. So Clone Wars is canceled before they could finish out Cad Bane's arc, and so they had art like an animatic release of it though, with Boba Fett, like young Boba Fett fighting Cad Bane, and that's how Boba Fett got the dent in his helmet. But since that never happened, there's a whole new arc and story for Cad Bane to live. And so imagine Cad Bane in this.
Imagine Cad Bane versus the Mando. It's a great rival for him.
Right.
It's a beautiful rival.
That's currently what he's missing. He's missing the anti-him.
Right.
Cad Bane would be perfect for it.
Yep.
Plus he's the cool cowboy trope. He's the cowboy bounty hunter.
He fits 100% into the cowboy
bounty
bounty.
hunter. So I mean, Cad Bane. Also, you know who I'm wanting to see in this? Hondo Ohnaka.
I could actually deal with Hondo in this.
He's at Galaxy's Edge right now.
Yeah, right. But he's yeah, that's true. But because he's in Black Spire. But I would love to see. I mean, if Hondo's going to be that kind of like, he's almost like R2 and 3PO.
How old is he got to be? Because he's super kind of old in
right,
Rebels.
but it's fine because he's. Who knows how long those guys live? True. I mean, it's just like
Mando, my friend.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
I mean, I don't know if you put Jim Cummings in the suit, but you better have him do the voice.
Yeah.
And just because, that'd be so awesome. It would just be so awesome. I would love to. So I think Cad Bane's the.
As long as he has him a little Ugnaught running around behind him.
Yeah, he didn't have that. The Melch.
Melch.
My kids fell in love with Melch and were just like, "What happened to Pig Boy?" And I was like, he was flying. I mean, what are you supposed to say? Like, he's gone. He gets exploded.
No, he lives.
Does he come back?
Yeah, he lives.
Oh, I didn't remember him coming back.
What, on the one where they're using the cables to...
No, he lives in... he's in the final.
Okay.
I didn't even remember it.
Yeah, he's in the final, yeah.
Oh.
Who, what's his...
Well, I didn't get there.
Hondo's all crying over him because he got shot, and then he wakes up and he goes, "You would have never made it without me. I'm your great."
Oh, yeah.
And then the best line in that, though, is, so they can fly.
Yeah, it's like completely... Sorry. Melch gets blown up.
Zeb launches Melch in the air.
Oh.
And Hondo just looks in the air and says, "Oh, they can fly," and just
No.
because he's a pig, and it's like it's subtle, but it's funny. It's hilarious.
Just a little nod.
Yeah.
So we get the Mando backstory. I think is pretty crucial. We get the Darksaber, which I think is pretty crucial. We were left not in a cliffhanger in terms of story as much as we were a cliffhanger in terms of details.
Right.
So there's backstory elements we want. There's other pieces we want, like where did he get the Darksaber, all those bits. That makes for a much better episodic turn to me than anything else, because now we're allowed to go wherever we want.
Sorry, can I backtrack us for? Because I was going somewhere when we got talking about Cad Bane. I wanted to go somewhere else. I was following you over.
Okay.
So you're asking about Sabine and how's that affects Sabine and the helmet stuff. I still say that this is a religious faction, or a more fundamental faction of Mandalorian beliefs. I don't think this is all Mandalorians. I think this is this specific group of Mandalorians. So I think that they're the ones who don't remove their helmets. There has to be a separation, and there may be a unification happening in there. But those guys weren't taking off their helmets in Clone Wars. I think the ones that rescued. Was it Din? Was it
Din?
Yeah.
Din. When they rescued him, didn't remove their helmets. That's so that's a faction. That's not what Death Watch does, or that's not what Clan Ren or Hasfizzle does. I think it's just that specific group of Mandos. That being said, what I found fascinating about this is that he said that, Mando's not a race; it's a creed.
Mm-hmm.
So does that leave way to Jango and Boba being Mandalorians again?
It does. It does.
No,
Lucas said they weren't, and
right.
But he's only said it like in a, and so we all thought they were. What it was? We don't know enough in canon about them,
Right.
to know if they follow anything.
However, I have argument.
Sure, please do.
Okay, so you have two hands. On the one hand,
Yes, you do have to.
I do have two hands. On my right hand, I have the Creed Mandalorian. That is what we were following in the Mandalorian.
My own
This is
prison.
the way.
The my own prison.
Yes,
Right.
this is the way. This is the way Mandalorian.
Scott
oh my
Stapp.
God, you made a Scott Stapp
I know,
reference.
and I might just leave without you knowing my
Wow.
argument.
I just
anyway,
died on
Jabba's
the
in session.
inside. Good God, he did
Court.
the song.
Court is in. No deal on the nugget today. Just a
I
rancor
would just like to know,
pit.
since we're endorsed by Star Wars, that is now canon. Scott Stapp and Creed are now canon for Star Wars. I hope you're happy.
Okay, now I apologize for that. That
Should have
was-
been dead at high noon on Navarro because of Moff. I mean, I can play the game. Anyway,
Killing me.
you have the Creed of Mandalorians, which we are seeing in the Mandalorian episodes. Don't take off their helmet. We don't know that they have children. We know they find foundlings because they have talked about foundlings.
Tauntaun wide open.
Well, they can't
I'm
have
sorry,
children.
good help. I'm trying to find a wide arms wide open.
It's
joke.
tauntaun wide open.
There
You got to
go.
get it right.
Thank you. I was so excited. I just missed it. Thank you. I needed you.
To keep warm after the first marker. Right.
I can't believe you guys know this many Creed songs.
It's all just one song.
Oh, God.
Oh, what else could we do? Oh,
Okay. Creed. Shit.
If you're not derailed in your life right now,
Oh,
you're
that's-
not really listening.
So, anyway, you have if it's a hyper, I think you called it last time, orthodox.
Yeah, they're Orthodox.
The
They're-
Orthodox creed of Mandalorians. They don't have kids, right? They're monks. Let's say they're monks.
Sure.
And they repopulate with foundlings.
Right.
And then you have the houses which populate, they have families.
Right.
They have, you have houses, right? You have whole clan Ren, you see mom, you see brother,
Dad, who's Shang's son? All right.
Jango isn't one of, on my right hand, he's not part of the Orthodox because we've seen his face.
Right.
And he cloned his child. He didn't have a child for the family. So he might not be a Mandalorian in either way that we've
still could
seen
have
them.
stolen the armor. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Right, because isn't it, who was what's his name
I
that
think that's
was
George's always his.
I think it's stolen. I think it's a complete stolen situation where he just stole this.
Yeah,
He killed somebody. He got the best of a Mando and killed him.
and who was the one that was pretending to be Boba Fett after Boba Fett died?
Jodo
Cast.
Yeah.
Right, because that's a thing.
But that's also the lore of Mandos, right? That's what I think is so fascinating is that everyone, when they see a Mando, they're like, ooh, Mando. Like in canon, in the world, if you will, diegesis, if you want to be that way, film term. In that space, they
Did you just say die Jesus?
diegesis.
Yeah, I'm still hearing die Jesus.
It's all right.
All right, we
I'm
lost.
not
We
saying
lost
that.
Iowa though.
Yep. Did we though? I don't know where I was going with it. There's a possibility that I still think there's a possibility of what we're seeing is a sect, like a very specific group. But I also think that there's nothing left, and this is the reason they hide their faces and all that stuff is they do need to disappear into society. They can pull their helmets and be that way. They
Right.
don't- I think being a Mando is a sin.
Then they're not Mandalorians anymore, according to the code.
I think it's permissible if they're in trouble. I have a feeling the people that might have escaped had to shed it.
Oh, and what if they had to leave? Well, and if they did leave, they had probably to leave their armor behind.
That's kind of where
And
I was
so,
going.
because we didn't see any bodies, we just saw armor.
Yeah.
Pieces of armor.
That's what I was.
And you know what? Yeah, they were a little scuffed, but I don't remember. I'll have to go back and watch it. I don't remember seeing blood or
No, there's
holes.
nothing. So I'm wondering if some of it was they just fled, and so now they're exorcised from the order.
And they showed Jon Favreau. Okay, did you watch the previously on?
Yeah.
They showed Favreau's Vizsla, the heavy with the minigun, like 4 times in the previously on for him to not have been in that episode.
Yep. They set it up pretty heavy.
So, we're going to see some Bob Vizsla or whatever. That's
no,
Mandalorian.
I'm sure he escaped. We also get Mando gets his first Phoenix.
He does. The Rising Phoenix.
Rising Phoenix, my bad. He gets a Rising Phoenix, a.k.a. a jetpack.
Yeah.
Which was a weird situation a little bit for me, where they're like, have you done your training with it? Some. And then later in the episode, he's like, yeah, I got it.
Well, so that was my little, I 100% agree. Because they're like, have you trained? Yes. Gives it to IG, says, when he's better, it'll listen to him.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an interesting way to put it.
I loved it. I thought it's a nice lore piece, right?
So, but then he's like, I guess the back to works quickly because he's like, this will have you healed in an hour.
Right.
MacGuffin. Yeah. And then he's like, but like the first time, so he takes off after the TIE fighter, which do we know what kind of TIE fighter that is yet?
Not yet.
It's epic. That's all I know.
It's pretty awesome. Greg earlier said he thought it was called the TIE Outrider.
Oh, nice.
So, which is a cool name if that's true.
That's very cool.
But like when he lands from that, like he's all wobbly, like he's a child taking his first steps, and then he like gets Kevin and leaves like a pro, like in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, I got it.
So I like the first time he used it because he just flies straight up and then shoots the grappling hook or whatever, and he just does all that gimmick.
Toe cable. It's Star Wars. It's toe cable.
So he does his little magic lasso gimmick and does all that stuff, and then falls to the ground and lands pretty cool. It's just when he took off with Kevin, he's like, yep, two steps.
Got
and
it.
He's gone. It's like,
maybe Kevin was the force stabilizers he needed.
But it was a beautiful parallel to him being carried away in the very beginning when he's doing his flashback. I love that symmetry kind of stuff.
And I'm ready. I saw a horribly, wonderfully gut-wrenching cartoon panel on Facebook this week. And it mirrors when Boba picks up Jango's helmet after Mace is like, and he's just sitting there and he puts it on his forehead. You know, he's just sort of crouched holding the helmet, and it was a still short but older, probably adolescent Kevin.
Wow.
In Beskar with
beautiful.
no helmet,
but
holding Din's
his dad's
helmet. And I was like, and it was and Kevin's a little scarred up, but not bad. But you know, he's seen action marks, and I was just like,
it's awesome.
It's so pretty.
We'll never see that, right?
We'll never know because we're not going to get to season 300.
Yeah. But how wicked is that?
That would be wicked. Yeah. It would be Bilbo wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Would absolutely.
You park the Razor Crest.
Did anybody else think
are they ending up in Massachusetts?
They're going to Massachusetts.
Did anybody else think? I had a weird inkling that when Mando was on his deathbed there for a little while, in a weird sequence, in my opinion, but he was on his deathbed and Cara Dunn's like, "Hey, take off your helmet," blah blah blah. This whole thing. I thought what was going to actually happen was Pedro was going to die. That Mando dies. He passes the torch to her. It becomes this scenario of like someone else is going to have to carry it to protect Kevin, essentially. Yeah. I thought it was this weird transition. And then it didn't go that way. And she's like, you got to go. And he's like, okay, I'm going. And then IG-11's like, I'll stay here with you. And then it just, that was kind of clunky.
It was a little because there was like, it was almost romance.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not leaving you. Yeah. And then at the end, she's like, no, I'm going to stay here, though.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the episode.
Like, there's got a hot village chick back here.
I still want to know her story. I bet she's ISB.
Yeah, we talked about it.
She's something.
Yeah.
But I don't, like I said, she got hotter every 30 seconds this whole season. So, I'm all, strong women are sexy.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
that. Oh, you come up my ass? Okay.
You break my face? That's fine.
Thanks. I love you.
Oh, you're going to have a helmet on for the rest of her life? No, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, right. I didn't like kissing anyway. Not there.
Donk. How do you two Mandalorians make? Two Mandalorians going at it? That's their helmets.
Beskar is aluminum.
It's as light as aluminum. Aluminium.
Aluminium.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Sorry, I was looking up other Mandalorians from non-canon but early ones.
Okay.
Because I was remembering my favorite Mandalorian that's not Boba Fett.
Okay.
That was from Star Wars, the Marvel comic Star Wars from the 80s. number 68. It's right after it's like the first or second one after the Empire Strikes Back run. So everyone's looking for Han, and so Leia and Chewie find some Mandalorians. And they think it's Boba Fett, and it's not. And it's this dude named Finn Scheisse.
Finn Scheisse.
Yeah,
his name is Finn shit.
Finn Scheisse.
That's
SHY.
German for Finn shit.
He's Finn shit. Whatever.
Finn shit.
Finn shit.
Nein, das ist nicht so gut, weiße Scheiße. Wo ist die Scheiße?
I think you said this is not such good shit.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Do I look
SHY.
German? Shh, don't take that. Don't say that.
Right? So it's SHYSA. Scheisse, right?
Yeah. I can't believe the name.
Probably Scheiss.
Maybe Shisha. Shisha.
Shish.
By the seashore.
Anyway, Finn.
We're done, folks.
It's in parcel tongue.
Welcome to my Harry Potter life. Are you
Done.
a Slytherin? We are too.
Negative. Hufflepuff for life.
I don't know what they're saying right
That's
now.
sad.
Why? Yeah. I'm sorry. Is loyalty and hard work something you frown upon?
Yeah.
Do you frown upon flip tables?
Yeah. Slytherin for life.
I don't see it. Ambitious, yes. The underhanded cunning, I don't see.
You don't know my life.
You're right.
You don't know my life.
Only 20 years of it, though.
But you don't know my whole life. You don't know what got me to that 20 years.
I don't know what happened the other 15.
Right. You don't know my life. Words, son.
Words.
Going back to our Judgment Night podcast.
Right back.
But no, I was looking because I'm looking and hopeful like who else could they pull in? And he's a Mandalorian who like dealt with Boba Fett too. And I'm like that'd be kind of cool.
I'd love it.
You know,
any of that stuff they can rope in. I just think they have the ability to expand into a deeper narrative that we're not going to get from the majority of the Star Wars stuff. The other rumor I heard recently that would tie in, when does that Doctor what's her name comic take place?
Afra.
Yeah,
Afra happens during before or after New Hope.
Oh, okay. So she's not in this.
No,
because she hung out with Vader.
Yeah, Vader hires her to go look for stuff, including trying to figure out who flew the Death Star.
Oh, I thought she was a good guy.
No.
Oh, okay, got it.
Afra's Afra.
I don't think she's evil. She's that I gotta work.
Yeah.
Like she's is she the archaeologist?
Yeah, she's a space
She's like,
archaeologist.
I just want to dig up stuff, so who's hiring me?
Yeah.
Right. And so she steals things. She's like I know we just said she's not evil, but I would really call her like an evil lesbian Indiana Jones.
Got it.
And so
I just didn't know if they were. I read a rumor that series was going to come out. That they're going to potentially turn that into an episode.
Ooh,
I would watch the hell out of it.
I want to backtrack like 40 minutes because of something I wanted to say earlier.
And this will be a pain in editing.
No.
No, we'll just put it back here.
No, it's fine because
lives where it lives.
I'm gonna bring something back because when you said Indiana Jones, it made me think of Harrison, which made me think of his memory that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Right. But there was this part of that I remembered earlier today that I thought was so like Ben just looks at him and Han goes, "I know," right? He just says, "I know," because Ben's saying, "I love you,"
Right.
You know, and like,
no, he's telling me he's force sensitive.
no,
Fuck.
look.
Back to square
Bullshit.
one.
Welcome to my Star Wars life. I'm your non-Native American Jedi master.
I'm your white Saxon.
I'm your white German as shit JD.
Scheisse.
So we were restarting the podcast the other day.
When we realized no one had pushed the record
That's
button.
right.
Oh shit! No, kidding. Got it.
I like how he got closer to the mic to tell the audience that he's kidding.
He's well
They've
trained.
been listening for
well
the last.
trained. Very well trained.
Someone has to steer this ship,
Hey,
right?
can I talk about another Rise of Skywalker thing I thought was a nice
Sure.
Adam Driver moment? He points exactly like Han Solo in one section.
Oh, does he?
He do you remember in Force Awakens where Han, I can't remember what Han's doing, but he just literally just does this point thing. He does that to, I think it might be Hux. He does the exact same thing. It's a very, and it's the same motion.
Aww.
And then I was like, wow, he did a very good job of pulling moments from his dad, from Han Solo into his character. Like there's several times he does that and delivers a line that way.
He also shoots a knight of Ren from behind, like Han does to a stormtrooper.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
Just like,
And they get more and more pointless the more I watch that movie.
Yeah, like what?
They serve absolutely.
no, you know what? They're all force sensitive, and they wanted to tell Rey, but they couldn't. Fuck! I'm seriously upset about that. I'm really just. JJ Abrams, you're wrong. I wrote it. I don't care. You're lying to us. You're lying to us.
This is one of those moments when we must ask, what would Dave do? Dave Filoni.
None of this bullshit. None of it. He'd had Ahsoka and some Lothcats, a wolf in the background.
Just some random animals just doing things.
There would have been like Star Fox, but a wolf flying
Right.
X-wing.
Okay, don't even tell me that because I'm 100% into that idea right now.
I still want the next standalone movie to be Top Gun with X-wings. Why can't I have Top Gun
We should
with
have it.
X-wings?
We should totally
I want
have
a
it.
whole 2 hours of X-wing dogfights.
The problem I have is we've lost Snap Wexley dying really breaks my heart.
This can take place in that 30 years.
Yeah, Rogue
I just
One.
need Snap.
Not Rogue One, but Rogue Squadron. Rogue Squadron.
We can have
Because-
we can have Wedge teaching Poe because I found out Wedge was Poe's teacher.
No.
Yeah.
Found that out today.
Of course. Who else is going to teach Poe?
Right?
That
So
is-
we can
Luke's
have.
not.
I mean, we
Luke's off
have.
being a crazy monk.
I don't know.
Okay, why can't we have? Why
All I
couldn't
saw
have
was
Top
on was a
Gun?
planet.
Like I want boop.
No,
boop,
you saw him
boop,
being
boop.
crazy monk because he was trying to train his sister for a minute so she could justify her being a Jedi. Fuck you, JJ Abrams.
Well, so I had heard.
No, do not take away my Leia lightsaber moment.
Right, I had heard that they were like
My
she was
eyes cannot
supposed
roll
to be the
farther
last
back in my
Jedi.
damn head.
She is the last Jedi.
But I heard the whole original idea was that this was supposed to be her movie and show that she was trained as a Jedi. But unfortunately,
no, I don't believe
I
it.
don't believe it either.
okay,
No, I'll
I'm
tell you
saying
why
I
I don't
heard.
believe-
I don't have sources to
You don't have
cite
any
or
Balfour
anything.
spies like he does.
You right? I know you two. That's about it.
Hey, Drew, do you think Scotty would get mad if I say anything about force sensitivity?
No, when I'm supposed to say I love you? No, yeah.
I need a banana.
I was trying to tell my best friend I love you the other day, but no, I ended up being force sensitive. Fuck! JJ, why? Coward.
We got a cramp over here.
Yeah,
We've laughed JD into a cramp.
in the back of my thigh. Good job.
You don't laugh from there.
You do if you curl your toes.
Ooh, a toe color there.
I didn't say anything bad. You take it however you want to take it, bro.
That.
I'm force sensitive.
Oh, I love you for that.
It's now canon. I'm force sensitive. It just happened.
No, really, what he's trying to tell you is I love you, but he can't.
I can't. I got to say I'm force sensitive instead.
I know.
Skadoosh. I'll take it. Well done.
That's what I like about a podcast.
Yeah. It goes absolutely nowhere, just like the plot of that movie that almost got made.
You know, I love our.
No, I don't.
I love our music we have. Like, I love the person, like, you know, our Star Wars live music. But honestly, we need some Benny Hill shit.
I thought you were doing Primus there for a second. I was like, wow, we've gone on to
Scotty's
Primus.
got a big brown beaver
Yeah,
head.
I take it. I'm all into that.
Mandalorian got a big green Yoda.
That's it.
He's little.
I don't know if the syllables work quite well. We'll get Gabe working on it. That's what we need.
That's what we
I mean,
need.
I can make you a
Gabe.
parody if you want a
We need to
parody.
get Gabe up into this.
You right? If we can do that, Gabe can parody it out,
Yeah, we can get Gabe to do it.
and he's got a great tone.
Who's Gabe?
He does the music for ##. He just parodies songs for Scotty, basically on a whim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scotty's like, "Here's 3 words, make it funny," and Gabe's like, "Done." He kind of has a raspy voice. It's not like that. I love you, Gabe.
I like your Gabe impression.
Wait, Gabe was here during our live show.
No,
Who was that?
wasn't Gabe.
Okay.
That was a bit. That was a bit that just happened right in front of you. Gabe was here at the live show with confidence. He says it. Scotty. Nope. Oh, who's that? I don't know.
Not
It
Gabe.
was the kid. He worked at the thing. He had the Subway or Crystals or
Lyft kid?
Sonic Lift. No, I don't know.
That's
The
Caleb.
Uber Eats.
Yeah, Caleb.
That's Caleb, not Gabe.
Okay. There's a B in it.
Yeah, there we are. Friday nights. There's a 2 Mountain Dews and a LaCroix and a Polar.
What the hell's a Polar?
Oh, bro, this is the magic stuff. Polar? It's Polar Bear's nuts. It's the most delicious. Is
that blueberries on it?
Blueberry lemonade.
Is it alcoholic?
No, it's just bubble water. It's like sparkling water. That's what we do.
It's like that bubble water. Living that bubble water
Honestly,
life.
that looks like some craft beer bullshit can.
It is. It's craft water.
Before we go, I wanted to.
Oh dear God! If this makes the cut, folks,
It's going to make the cut. Why cut any of this? Did you guys see? Speaking of parodies, but did you guys see the bad lib reading of the movie?
I have not watched it yet.
I've been sent it like 14 times by 14 different
it
people.
good?
I haven't
it's
watched
funny.
it yet.
It's funny. It's
Yeah.
funny.
Is it as good as
he will
Seagulls?
never. He won't be able to see it because it's parodying something that doesn't exist for him.
Well, we'll just use a parallel. Well, you know what we'll do? We'll use the world between worlds, and we'll show it to him.
I'll take it.
Oh, that's right. You've not seen that yet.
The what?
Ooh. Hey, I have a question about that.
Yep.
That very idea is that on the Death Star when she's on?
Oh, the part where they can like here take this in the Force from across.
No.
It's separate thing.
Okay.
Is she experiencing that when she goes and gets the Wayfinder on the Death Star too?
No.
Because it doesn't look like there's a hallway there in the shot.
No. The thing of the Death Star 2 is to me, it's her challenge of the cave.
Yeah.
But she comes out with a physical. I understand a Star Wars movie.
Shit, they've been coming out with physical objects all along.
Yeah, you're right. But it just seemed like I just wondered if you thought
But no,
maybe it was in
but
this.
speaking of the world between worlds and the gentleman who passed away, in that book, there's a map of it.
You're kidding me.
No. So even as far back as him researching that,
Yeah.
knew about the world between worlds.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yep.
Wow.
What?
Rebels.
Got to catch
Trying
up
to
season
say,
4.
we're trying to say
Okay.
a pretty cool spoiler moment.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well, then I appreciate it. I
It's
take
beefy,
back my.
it's beefy enough
What?
not to spoil it.
Right.
But anybody that knows it is gonna.
If you know, you
enjoy
know.
that
If you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah,
Got you.
no, we'll talk about it eventually, but
I'll watch it. Like, holidays are over.
Yeah.
I'll have time now. I hope.
Yeah, because you have.
I don't have to be Santa again. So woot.
That's good. Now you got to be Baby New Year, and that's gonna suck. You didn't know about that, right? Tommy was telling me back.
I'm not shaving this to be a baby New Year.
Oh no, you're totally fine to keep the beard. How are you with baby oil though?
On that note,
You'll know.
this is me saying this is a
I'm
contribution
getting a
to the
cigar if that's the case. Hey, well, Happy New Year. I'm Baby New Year. What do you
I
want?
tried to end the show.
Like
I really
Danny
did.
DeVito.
I'm trying to end the show. It must end the force.
So one of you is pulling it back, and one
Right,
of you
That's
is pushing it
right.
away.
Who's going to lightning
And I'm
it?
the dead Chewie. is
You're
what
the
he's
dead
saying?
Chewie.
I'm all the Jedi. All the Sith. We're at that moment.
Yeah.
So I'm all the Jedi.
Be with me.
All right.
Be with me. Be with me.
Force sensitive.
I love you.
Oh boy.
Be with me.
This is Scotty saying this is our contribution to the multiverse. Go out and make yours. And may the force be with you.
I know. No. And also with you.
No, you should have said I'm force sensitive.
I was about to tell you guys, real important. I'm force sensitive.
Thank you for listening to the Mobcast Network.